because we are going to experiment the cool stuff today. We've heard about telepathy, telekinesis, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, feeling, this and that. We heard about it. And sometimes you can get books of this and that will tell you how to develop each. But I've never read a single book that explained how they work, because they all work exactly the same way. There's one fundamental technology, which is the forces of nature. And it is very simple. But just so that we remember, our mind has to be clear. If you are afraid to misuse one of the supernatural abilities, it means that you need to integrate more and recognize yourself as a good person. The solution is not to prevent yourself from becoming aware or powerful. The solution is to get yourself to know you are such a wonderful being, and you will do everything in your power to produce happiness, regardless of how you do it. And according to the laws of right speech, you will not tell to someone something you see, just because you saw it. You don't have to reveal stuff. Only if you are certain it will produce happiness. Because if you would not have been sensible, sensitive, aware, no one would have known, and no one would have told a certain person this or that. If you know it can produce happiness, do it. If you think, this person might love to know that her husband is cheating, you think it's going to produce happiness. Well, starting from a point, it's none of your business, shut up. And if you know that a couple relationship is over, and you have information, and these people come to you to ask, how do you think we could become happy? And they're kind of giving permission by inquiring your point of view. Then you give the information according to how you think will be the best. And if the best information is, well, you know, when you think your relationship is over, you have to face the facts and accept that your fear is to be alone. You know? And that would be enough. You understand? I'm taking this very sensible matter because it's a very raw example. So when you get to the light stuff, it'll be easy to manage. Okay? So you think I tell you everything I see about you? Well, there's two things you need to know right now. I don't see lots of things because, frankly, I don't care. And when I want to look, I focus. It doesn't take effort because the surface will reveal itself. And if I want to dig, then I have to go in. Otherwise, you might not believe that, but I have great respect for your privacy. And why would I bother myself with knowing stuff that I will not use exactly at the moment I will use it? So there's a switch, on, off. In fact, it's always on. When you're aware, it's always on. But you can tune to the frequency. So I become aware of what you are at the highest level I can think of. So I never get the information about your human. All I see is enlightened, wonderful people walking as gods. You don't know that, but I'm telling you, this is what I perceive. You might actually want to try it, perceiving it in yourself. Produces a good feeling. All right? So when someone wants to know what goes on in my human, what could you tell me about my next step? What can I learn? Or what's my problem? If it's a question based on self-esteem or lack of it. Well, then I take the time because you asked. Otherwise, I'm just so happy. And this perception I have of you being also very happy will radiate that in you. So why should I care what someone thinks of me if I'm happy? And if all I see in people are very, very happy soul experiences, glad to go through their trials, regardless of the opinion of the human regarding the trial. So it's a state of mind. Okay? So you're going to develop this progressively in time, not through hard work, through work, don't qualify it, and give yourself time. Alright? Then smell, then taste. Okay. These are the senses, the tools by which we perceive. The higher it is on this list for most humans, most, not all, the more it is affected by your mental state. So if your mind goes crazy, forget about feeling anything with mind. And then your perception will be extremely altered. You think that you see good, but there's tons of information you don't even see. Even though the light enters your eyes, produces the image, it's so filtered. The interpretation of what you see with your eyes is so filtered by your disturbed mind. When it goes crazy and it cannot stop thinking, like when you go to bed and it won't stop, okay? So the same. The hearing is a bit less disturbed by your mental state. The touch, almost not affected. Smell and taste just come in just as they are. Okay, almost. I have nothing more to write for now. So I will take this and like this. I'm going to use another color. Thank you. So, in nature, there is energy of various frequencies. Okay? Energies of various frequencies. Everything in nature is drinking in a pool of goo that is so subtle and refined that it cannot even be felt by the senses. Usually not even perceived by mind. Okay? And this goo, we call it sometimes the matrix, not because of the movie, like 1,000 years ago, this was the word used in Sanskrit. We call it sometimes Shakti when we address the fact that it is conscious. In science we say the unified quantum field. It is an uninterrupted substance. It is not granular like atoms. It is continuous. It is not interrupted. Okay? They're not particles. It's a completely continuous field of goo that works like a liquid. In this liquid, there are waves. The waves are of different frequencies. So when I address a scientific crowd, I say this is the unified field. Those who learn the first siddhi, they start to have experience. Those who practice the first siddhi, they start to have experience becoming aware of this very extremely